Welcome to Rise and Inspire. Before we begin, I want you to pause and ask yourself, what's really holding me back? It's not your past. It's not your background. It's not even your failures. It's your mindset. Because your mind can be your greatest weapon or your biggest enemy. And the truth is, nothing changes until your mindset does. This episode isn't just motivation. It's a wake-up call. We're going deep into 10 powerful truths that can shift your thinking and change your life. If you're ready to grow, to break cycles, to think like the person you were born to be, then this episode is for you. Let's rise. Let's inspire. Let's begin. 1. You are not your past. I want you to hear this with your whole heart. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the worst thing you've ever done, or the worst thing someone said about you. But I know what it feels like to carry the past like a weight. You walk through life with invisible scars, shame, guilt, regret, embarrassment. Maybe you messed up. Maybe you hurt someone. Maybe you hurt yourself. Maybe you wasted time, stayed in the wrong job, loved the wrong person, gave up on something too soon. And now you carry it around like a shadow. But hear me when I say this. The past is a chapter, not your entire story. We are not meant to live backwards. What happened, happened. You don't have to erase it. You just have to outgrow it. Every mistake taught you something. Every heartbreak gave you wisdom. Every failure built a layer of strength inside you. And those people who judge you for who you used to be, they don't deserve a front row seat to who you're becoming. Let them think what they want. You're not here to impress people from your past. You're here to build your future. I know people who spend their whole lives punishing themselves for who they were 5 years ago. But imagine this. Imagine if a tree said, I can't grow new branches because last season I lost a few leaves. That's not how nature works. And that's not how you are meant to work. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to evolve. Don't let an old version of you control this new version of you. You are not your mistakes. You are the lessons you took from them. You are not your pain. You are the healing that came after. You are not broken. You are becoming. So let go, not because what happened didn't matter, but because you matter more than what happened. 2. Your thoughts build your reality. Your life, whether you realize it or not, is being shaped by your thoughts. Every single day, your mind is quietly creating your reality. Not just by what you do, but by what you believe. Your thoughts are like seeds. Plant fear, you grow hesitation. Plant confidence, you grow action. It doesn't happen instantly, but over time, the garden of your life will always reflect what you've been watering in your mind. If you constantly think, I'm not good enough, your brain will start looking for proof. It will focus on your flaws, your failures, the things that went wrong. You'll start acting smaller, speaking quieter, doubting yourself more, all because your thoughts trained your brain to shrink. But if you begin thinking, I can learn, I can grow, I can improve, your brain will shift. Suddenly, challenges become opportunities. Failure becomes feedback. Life becomes something you have control over, not something happening to you. Your mind is powerful, but it doesn't ask questions. It just follows orders. If you constantly say, I'm tired, your brain responds with exhaustion. If you keep saying, I'll never succeed, your brain shuts the door on creativity and solutions. But when you say, I'll find a way, your brain becomes a problem solver. When you say, I'm built for this, your brain begins to dig deep and push through. This isn't magic. It's science. It's programming. Your subconscious mind takes in what you say and turns it into reality because it believes what you repeat. That's why affirmations, self-talk, and even the words you use with others are so important. You are training your brain 24 hours a day. The only question is, what are you training it to believe? The most successful people in the world aren't always the smartest or most talented, but they think differently. They wake up and say, "I can win today, even if yesterday was a disaster." They say, "This isn't the end, it's a lesson," even when they lose. And because of that mindset, they find ways to rise again. Not because life is easier for them, but because their thoughts give them strength. So if you want to change your life, start with your mind. Guard your thoughts like your life depends on it, because it does. Stop feeding your brain with doubt, fear, and negativity. Instead, give it belief, faith, vision, and purpose. Say it even when you don't fully believe it yet, because eventually, your brain will catch up. And when your thoughts change, your life will follow. 3. Growth is hidden in discomfort. Let me tell you something that most people run away from. Discomfort is not the enemy. It's the birthplace of every breakthrough, every transformation, every success story you've ever heard. Growth does not happen in safe places. It happens in the fire, in the stretch, the pressure, the resistance. And the truth is, if you avoid discomfort, you will also avoid growth. Think about a seed. It doesn't bloom in sunlight and silence. First, it's buried in darkness, in dirt. It breaks apart. It pushes against the soil. It struggles upward toward the light. That pressure, that resistance, that's part of the process. And just like that seed, you will never reach your next level if you refuse to face the hard things. We've been taught that discomfort means something's wrong, that if you're scared or uncertain or stressed, you should stop, step back, and stay safe. But the people who grow, the ones who rise, they feel the fear and do it anyway. They understand that discomfort is a sign they're stretching beyond their limits. And every time you stretch, you become stronger. The truth is, the life you want is just outside your comfort zone. But most people live their whole lives inside a box they built from fear. They don't start the business because they're afraid to fail. They don't speak their truth because they fear being judged. They don't try new things because they're scared to look stupid. So they stay the same and call it safe. But safe is not success. Safe is stuck. Here's what nobody tells you. You're supposed to feel uncomfortable. That's how you know you're growing. You're supposed to feel awkward when you start something new. You're supposed to feel resistance when you're leveling up. It's not weakness, it's transformation. It means you're building something inside you that wasn't there before. Courage, strength, wisdom, confidence. So don't wait for comfort to take action. Take action, and the courage will come. Walk into the hard things. Train your mind to be comfortable being uncomfortable. When life challenges you, don't shrink. Don't run. Lean in. Because the pain, the fear, the resistance, that's where your growth is hiding. Remember this: muscles don't grow without tension. Diamonds aren't formed without pressure. And your greatest version will never be born without discomfort. 4. Discipline is self-love. Discipline, a word most people don't like. A word that sounds cold, strict, and hard. But let me tell you something that will change how you see it forever. Discipline is not punishment, it's self-love. It's not something you do because you hate yourself. It's something you do because you finally respect yourself. We often think freedom means doing whatever we want. Waking up whenever, eating whatever, spending however. But the truth is, without discipline, you become a slave to your feelings, your impulses, your moods, and your excuses. And that kind of freedom, that's not real freedom. That's chaos. And chaos will never lead you to the life you dream of. True freedom, the kind that gives you peace, power, and purpose, comes from discipline. Because discipline gives you control. It allows you to lead yourself instead of being led by emotion. It helps you build habits that keep you strong when motivation disappears. And it teaches you to show up, even on the days you don't feel like it. Especially on the days you don't feel like it. You see, self-love is not just about bubble baths, rest days, or taking a break. That's one side of it, the gentle side. But the other side of self-love is tough love. It's waking up early when your mind screams, "Sleep more." It's saying no to distractions when your goals are whispering, "Focus." It's choosing to work on your dreams, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard as hell. Discipline is doing the hard thing not because you want to suffer, but because you believe you're worth the result. It's looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, "I will not let temporary pleasure steal my long-term potential." It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. You train your body because you love your health. You budget your money because you love your future. You limit your screen time because you value your purpose. And let's be real, there will be days when you want to quit. Days when the old habits feel more comfortable. Days when your brain tries to convince you to take it easy. Start tomorrow. Skip just this once. That's the voice of your old self, the version of you that's scared to grow. But you don't owe that version your future. You owe it to the version of you you're trying to become, the strong one, the focused one, the disciplined one. Nobody is born disciplined. It's a muscle. You build it, you break it, you build it again. And over time, you start to realize it's not a burden. It's a gift. Because every time you stay consistent, you build self-trust. Every time you follow through, even when it's hard, you build inner power. And one day, you'll wake up and realize you no longer need motivation because you've become someone who simply does the work. So if you truly love yourself, your future, your dreams, your potential, then show it. Not just with words, but with effort, with structure, with discipline. Because that's not you being hard on yourself. That's you believing in yourself enough to become who you were always meant to be. 5. Control the controllables. There's a kind of quiet suffering that a lot of people carry, not from what's happening inside them, but from everything they're trying to control outside of them. They want to control how people treat them, how the world moves, how the future unfolds. But the truth is, trying to control things outside of your power will drain your spirit faster than failure ever could. So here's the mindset shift. Let go of what you can't. Control and master what you can. Life is unpredictable. People will disappoint you. Plans will change. Storms will come. And if your peace is built on everything going perfect, you'll never feel stable. You'll spend your life stressed, angry, bitter, and exhausted, constantly reacting to what's out there, instead of focusing on what's in here. So what can you actually control? You can control your attitude, even on bad days, even when nothing's going right. You can decide how you show up, bitter or better, reactive or calm, victim or leader. You can't choose what happens, but you can always choose what it means. You can control your effort. No matter what's going on around you, you can still show up and do your best. Some days your best might look small. That's okay. What matters is that you keep showing up. You can control your habits, the things you choose to repeat every day. The food you eat, the words you speak, the way you spend your time. These are the bricks that build your future, one small decision at a time. You can control your focus. You can decide what you give your energy to. You can either feed your distractions or feed your destiny, but not both. Whatever you focus on grows, so be careful where you aim your attention. And finally, you can control your response. People may lie, criticize, cheat, or ignore you, but they can't control your response unless you hand them that power. Take it back. Respond with wisdom, not ego. Respond with peace, not pettiness. That's real strength. You see, power doesn't come from controlling the world. It comes from mastering yourself. It's easy to blame everything around you. That's what most people do. But winners, leaders, people who rise, they take full ownership of what they can control and let go of the rest. Not because they don't care, but because they refuse to waste energy on battles that don't build them. So if life feels heavy, if you're tired, overwhelmed, frustrated, pause. Ask yourself, Am I focusing on something I can actually control? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, then give it everything you've got. You'll find peace the moment you stop trying to control everything and start taking full responsibility for what's already in your hands. That's not giving up, that's growing up. That's strength. That's maturity. That's freedom. And that's how you take your power back. 6. Build in silence, shine in public. There's something sacred about the quiet grind, the unseen hours, the private battles, the moments when nobody is clapping, nobody is watching, and nobody is cheering you on. But you're still moving forward, still showing up, still building. That's what real growth looks like. And this mindset shift will change the way you chase success. You don't have to announce everything. You just have to become it. Build in silence, shine in public. In a world obsessed with showing off, where people post every little win, every workout, every dollar made, it's easy to think you're falling behind, just because your journey doesn't look loud. But the truth is, the strongest roots grow in silence. Trees don't make noise when they're growing. Diamonds don't shout while forming under pressure. The most powerful things on earth happen quietly, slowly, and with purpose. And so should you. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need likes or applause to make your effort real. The results will speak when the time is right. The success will show up louder than any post ever could. Let your growth be your reply. Let your life become your proof. Think about this. When you're building something real, a dream, a habit, a business, a better version of yourself, you don't have time to talk. Because your energy is in the work, in the process, in the late nights and early mornings, the small steps, the consistency no one else sees. That's where greatness is born. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. And yes, silence is lonely. Sometimes it feels like no one sees your effort. No one understands what you're building. But that's okay. It's not their vision, it's yours. They don't need to see it yet. You're not behind. You're not invisible. You're just in preparation. And when you rise, because you will rise, it'll be real, solid, unshakable. So stop announcing your moves. Stop trying to convince people of your potential. Just work, just build, just grow. Let them wonder how you did it. Let them feel it when you walk in the room. The day you stop explaining and start executing is the day you shift from talker to doer. Because the ones who shine loudest are the ones who first built in silence. Quiet consistency creates loud results. So keep planting your seeds. Water them daily with discipline. And don't rush the harvest. When the time is right, it'll bloom. And when it does, you won't need to say a word. Your life will speak for you. 7. Learn or stay the same. There's a reason some people rise while others stay stuck in the same place for years. It's not because they're smarter, richer, or luckier. It's because they never stop learning. The truth is simple. If you don't grow your mind, you'll stay in the same cycle, the same patterns, the same problems, the same pain. That's why this mindset shift is non-negotiable. You either learn or you stay the same. Every day you wake up, life is giving you two choices. You can either repeat the same thinking you had yesterday, or you can upgrade it. You can stay comfortable in what you know, or you can challenge yourself to grow into what you don't. One keeps you safe. The other sets you free. Learning isn't just about school, books, or degrees. It's about having the humility to admit you don't know everything. It's about looking at your flaws, your habits, your attitude, and being willing to change. It's about reading that book that stretches your thinking, listening to the podcast that challenges your mindset, asking questions instead of pretending you've got it all figured out. You grow when you become a student of life. And here's the hard truth. If your mind doesn't grow, your life won't either. You'll keep running into the same struggles because you haven't changed the way you think. That's why most people stay stuck. They keep applying old thinking to new problems. But old thinking won't build a new future. You have to upgrade your mind to upgrade your life. Think about this. Your phone updates itself constantly. Why? To fix bugs, to improve performance, to make it more powerful. But what if your mind hasn't had an update in years? What if you're still using the same thoughts, the same fears, the same beliefs from 5 years ago, even though your goals have changed? Your life has changed. Your responsibilities have changed. You're not falling behind because you're lazy. You're falling behind because your mind stopped growing. So build a mindset of constant learning. Every day, feed your brain something new. Read, even if it's just 1 page. Listen, even if it's just 10 minutes. Ask questions. Stay curious. Learn from failure. Learn from others. Learn from your mistakes. Life is your classroom, but only if you show up with an open mind. And don't just learn, apply what you learn. Take action. Test it. Live it. Wisdom is not information. Wisdom is transformation. So learn with purpose. Learn with urgency. Because the cost of staying the same is your potential. And you were born for more than just repeating yesterday. The most dangerous phrase you can say is, "I already know that." Because the moment you say that, you stop growing, and the world keeps moving, with or without you. So stay a student, stay teachable, stay hungry, because the more you learn, the more you become. 8. Your circle is your mirror. Look around you, not at your goals, not at your dreams, not at your vision board. Look at your circle, the people you talk to every day, the voices you hear the most, the energy you're surrounded by. Because whether you realize it or not, your circle is your mirror. And if you want to change your life, one of the first places to start is by changing the people you keep closest. You become what you're around. If you're surrounded by people who complain, you'll start to complain. If you're surrounded by people who gossip, waste time, and play small, you'll find yourself doing the same. But if you're surrounded by people who think big, who hustle with discipline, who speak life into you, who challenge you to level up, you rise. Energy is contagious. Attitudes are contagious. Mindsets are contagious. Whether you like it or not, you absorb the people you're around. Their words become your self-talk. Their habits influence your routines. Their standards become your normal. So ask yourself, what am I allowing into my life? Who am I allowing into my future? Too many people stay stuck not because they lack talent, but because they're loyal to the wrong circle. They stay in friendships out of history, not destiny. They stick around people who are comfortable being average, and slowly, they begin shrinking their own dreams to fit in. But let me tell you something. You don't owe anyone your future. You don't have to stay small to keep other people comfortable. The truth is, you're allowed to outgrow people. You're allowed to step back from people who bring drama, who drain your peace, who talk down to your goals. That's not arrogance. That's protection. Your dreams are sacred. Your time is valuable. You cannot afford to surround yourself with people who don't believe in you. Or worse, people who don't believe in anything at all. Find your tribe. People who inspire you to think bigger. People who clap when you win, not roll their eyes. People who are building something, not just consuming everything. People who remind you who you are when you forget. Because when you have the right circle, you move different. You dream louder. You execute faster. You believe deeper. And if you don't have that circle yet, become it. Be the one who pushes others to rise. Be the energy you wish someone would give you. Eventually, your tribe will find you because light attracts light. So if you want to change your mindset, change your environment. If you want to go higher, stop hanging around people who are afraid of heights. Because your circle isn't just a reflection of who you are, it's a preview of who you're becoming. Choose wisely. 9. Progress over perfection. One of the biggest lies holding people back is the idea that they have to be perfect before they start, that they need the perfect plan, the perfect moment, the perfect skill set. But let me tell you something important. Perfection is a prison disguised as a goal. It stops more people than failure ever could. And the real key to success isn't perfection, it's progress. Perfection keeps you frozen. It keeps you waiting for the right conditions, the right timing, the right inspiration. But that moment rarely comes. And when it does, it's never perfect anyway. If you wait for perfect, you'll wait forever. And while you're waiting, life passes you by. Progress is freedom. Progress is imperfect, messy, and sometimes frustrating. But progress is also growth, learning, and momentum. It's the small step forward you take today, even if it's shaky. It's the decision to show up, even when you don't feel ready. Progress says, I'm not perfect, but I'm better than I was yesterday. Think about a child learning to walk. They don't wait to take their first step until they're sure they won't fall. No, they stumble, they fall, they get bruised, and then they get back up and try again. That's progress. That's courage. And that's how all great things are built. Your dreams don't need perfect actions, they need consistent actions. You don't have to know every detail before you start. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be flawless. You just need to begin and then keep moving forward. Because every step, no matter how small, pushes you closer to your goal. The fear of not being perfect is just fear dressed up in a shiny costume. It's your mind's way of protecting you from failure, embarrassment, or discomfort. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. You will make mistakes. You will fall. But if you keep going, you will also grow stronger, wiser, and closer to your dreams. So today, give yourself permission to be imperfect. Give yourself permission to take action, even if it's messy. Give yourself permission to learn as you go. Because progress is what moves you forward. And forward is the only direction that matters. Remember, the only way to fail is to stop trying. Keep moving, keep growing, keep improving one imperfect step at a time. And one day, you'll look back and see how far you've come. Not because you were perfect, but because you never gave up. 10. You already have enough to start. This is the final part of our journey together, and I want you to listen carefully, because what I'm about to say might change everything for you. The truth is simpler than most people think. You already have enough to start. You don't need more time, more money, more skills, or the perfect moment. All the excuses you've been telling yourself, they don't hold up, because everything you need to begin your journey, to build your dream, to change your life is already inside you right now. So many people wait. They wait for the right day, the right opportunity, the right signal from the universe. But that day doesn't come. And the longer you wait, the further you push your dreams away. The secret is to start with what you have. Take that first imperfect step, even if it's small. Because momentum is created by motion, not by preparation. Look at the stories of people who made it big. Almost none of them had perfect beginnings. They started with limited resources, little knowledge, and no guarantees. But they had one thing: the courage to start anyway. They embraced their imperfect beginnings and used them as fuel to grow. Remember, your past doesn't define you. Your circumstances don't define you. Your fears don't define you. What defines you is the choice you make right now to step forward. To say, I'm ready to begin, no matter how small. Because every great success story starts with a single step, a single decision, a single moment of courage. You have gifts, talents, and strengths inside you that are waiting to be unleashed. You have lessons from your past that prepare you for the future. You have a heart that beats with passion and a mind that can learn, adapt, and grow. Use them, trust them, believe in them. Starting is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing up and doing the work day after day, even when it's hard. Because every day you show up, you're building the foundation of your new life. And over time, those small steps add up to a giant leap. So stop waiting for more. Stop waiting for perfect. You have enough. You are enough. And the time to start is right now. Thanks for listening. If this inspired you, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Follow Rise and Inspire for more powerful episodes. Until next time, keep growing and keep rising.